Mark had always been a practical man, grounded in logic and reason. He never believed in the supernatural, especially not after the tragic loss of his girlfriend, Emily. Her death had been sudden, a car accident that left him shattered and alone. But time, as it does, gradually dulled the pain, and life moved on. Until one evening, while scrolling through Facebook, Mark received a friend request that made his heart skip a beat. The profile picture was unmistakable. It was Emily, smiling brightly as she always had. He felt a chill run down his spine. It couldn't be. He clicked on the profile, and sure enough, it was a replica of her account, complete with her friends and memories. Mark hesitated, but curiosity got the better of him, and he accepted the request. Moments later, his phone pinged with a message. It was from Emily's profile. "Hey, Mark. I miss you so much." He stared at the screen, disbelief clouding his mind. This must be some sick joke, he thought. After a moment, he replied cautiously, "Emily. Is this really you?" The response was instant. "Of course. I just wanted to check in on you." Mark felt a mix of emotions, happiness and dread. Could this be some kind of weird prank? He decided to play along. "How are you? I thought you were gone." The typing bubble appeared, and Mark's heart raced. "I'm fine, just a little lonely. It's so dark here." The response sent chills down his spine. Was someone behind this? He dismissed it, trying to convince himself it was just a glitch or a cruel joke. Over the next few days, the messages continued. They became increasingly unsettling. "I can see you, Mark. You look sad. Why don't you come join me?" He tried to brush it off, but it was hard to ignore the chilling nature of the messages. Each time his phone buzzed, his heart raced. Mark decided to investigate. He searched for Emily's account again, but it had vanished. He checked her friends' lists and found that everyone he knew associated with her had either unfriended her or deactivated their accounts. Panic set in as he realized he was being targeted. One night, he received a video call request from the same account. Mark hesitated, then accepted it, dreading what he might see. The screen flickered, and there she was, Emily's face, pale and gaunt, with dark circles under her eyes. Her smile was twisted, and the room behind her was shrouded in shadows. "Mark, I've missed you," she whispered, her voice hollow. "Why don't you come to me?" The sound of her voice sent waves of terror through him. "You shouldn't be here," he shouted, but she just laughed, a sound that echoed in his ears. Suddenly, the call ended, and his phone went dead. Mark felt the air around him grow cold. He checked the time. It was 3:33 a.m. The witching hour. Frantically, he searched for any signs of her, her belongings, any messages, anything that could explain this torment. But then, the power went out. The darkness engulfed him. As he fumbled for his phone, it lit up with another message, "I'm coming for you, Mark." The fear was suffocating. He backed away from the windows, every instinct screaming at him to escape. He grabbed his keys and bolted out of the apartment, heart racing. He didn't stop running until he reached his car. Just as he was about to drive away, his phone buzzed again. "You can't run from me." The chilling message made him freeze. With a trembling hand, he tossed his phone onto the passenger seat and sped off into the night, the shadows creeping in on him. He thought he was free, but the feeling of being watched lingered. Mark could almost sense Emily's presence beside him. Days turned into weeks, and Mark tried to put the haunting messages behind him, but the feeling of dread never left. He changed his number, blocked every account that even remotely resembled Emily, and even moved to a different city. Yet, every night, he would wake up at the same time, drenched in sweat, the echoes of her last words still haunting him. But one fateful night, as he lay in bed, he heard a soft tapping at his window. He froze, heart pounding. The tapping grew more insistent. With a shaking breath, he gathered the courage to look. What he saw made his blood run cold. There she was, Emily, standing outside in the moonlight, her smile wide and chilling, eyes dark and hollow. "I've come to take you home, Mark." He realized then that she had found him again. As he stumbled back in horror, he understood, there was no escape from the dead. The darkness closed in around him, and he felt himself being pulled back into the abyss, forever trapped in the nightmare that had begun with a simple Facebook message.